What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here, man. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're checking this show out. Hey, before I get started, make sure you hit that subscribe, man. If you're new to the channel, we're picking up subscribers every day. We appreciate it. Couldn't do the show without you, but the only way to do it is hit that subscribe. Then hit that like button, that thumbs up that's down below, man, just below the header. Hit that thumbs up. It does a great job and doesn't cost you anything for the channel, man. It helps the channel out a lot. And then also hit that alert bell because you never know when your boy's dropping a video. And this is one I wanted to talk about. And I don't know how many of you guys are on Twitter or on YouTube, on social media, all these other things if you hang around there a lot. But it seemed to be something I picked up on, and Michael Irvin and Terrell Owens seems to be having a little back and forth. And I'll say this, Michael Irvin didn't start it. He sure the hell finished it. But I guess T.O. was on a show and had some comments, and he was comparing the level of Hall of Famers. And this is kind of what he said. He disrespected Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin had a comeback and a response. And then he dropped a video. If you haven't checked out Michael Irvin's YouTube channel, you need to go over there and subscribe, especially if you're a Cowboys fan. But I'm a huge Michael Irvin fan. I will show you, in the cave right there representing the U and the Cowboys. He's well represented. There's a signed football in the back. You got obviously that. I've got helmets. Michael Irvin is one of my favorite all-time players. I grew up in South Florida. He grew up in South Florida. He actually started at Piper, went to St. Thomas, went to the U, so everything lined up. And then he goes to the Cowboys. What more could you ask for? I was already a fan of the Cowboys. And then to see Michael Irvin go there, the intensity he brings, he is the heart and soul of that team in the 90s. And I've had former players on the show, interviewed them. Definitely check it out if you missed it. The likes of Kevin Gogan, Daryl Moose Johnston, James Washington, former teammates as well, even before the Super Bowl years, like Eugene Lockhart, Crawford Kerr, all these guys coming in the cave, Mike Sherrard. And they talked about the competitor that's Michael Irvin, the leader that's Michael Irvin, and just the work ethic that Michael Irvin has. And it is not compared to anyone else in the league. And that's really the difference. When you talk about T.O., and you'll notice T.O. ain't represented in this cave. I like him when he was at the Cowboys, but I comparing him to Michael Irvin to me is a disrespect. I think he tore teams down. I don't think he elevated. He obviously was a great talent, great wide receiver, Hall of Fame, well-deserved, even though I was like, if he didn't get in, it wouldn't surprise me just because of the type of teammate he was and what he did at every stop. When you see these guys going 15 different teams, it's got to make you wonder when they're as talented as they are. Michael Irvin will talk about it. So I'm going to play some clips of what Michael Irvin had to say. This is kind of the beginning where the interview started with someone with T.O. and then Michael Irvin, some of his responses. But there was one key critical one I can't wait to play. And, something about Michael Irvin, man, he don't back down from nothing. So let me bring this up and we'll play a clip and then we'll kind of stop and go. Yeah, let's see here. Get this over here. Give me a second.
Better you than Michael Irvin. Like we know you're like, is it a big difference between you and Michael?
Is. I mean, statistically, yes. I mean,
yeah, we know statistically.
Yeah, does he have more Super Bowl rings than me? Yeah.
Hey, check it out. Cam, May Stack. Let me tell you guys something. NTO and all you jokers that didn't win these things are heavy. And check it out. This just my Dallas Cowboys stuff. Don't make me go get my Miami in my St. Thomas. That's why I'm probably at the bottom. All this shit is heavy. Y'all don't know nothing about all this though. Y'all been punching, but landing on air. Cause you ain't knocked nobody out if you ain't got none of these. Only champions have these. Knock niggas out. What's up, peeps? Now.
All right, there you go. Now that is his response. And really to put it in context, Terrell Owens was asked where Michael Irvin ranks in the Hall of Fame receivers. And he said near the bottom. which is an ultimate disrespect. Michael Irvin, outside of Jerry Rice, I don't know if there's a receiver that has more Super Bowl rings. You got to understand something. I'm not talking about being an accessory to the Super Bowl rings. I'm talking about playing an integral part, one of the main reasons that you got those rings. And you're just talking about Dallas. Those 3 championships, without Michael Irvin, they don't win them. You go back down to Miami, the national championship. Without Michael Irvin, they don't win them. You know, all the way from high school on up, he has been an ultimate competitor, and he's been a difference maker on every team he's been on. So I'm going to play a little bit more of the Michael Irvin kind of talk about it. I might zip through a couple things, but, you know, they talked about stats, and Terrell Owens played in an era where they threw the ball 40 to 50 times. And Michael Irvin, I think he talks about it in here. I don't know if I'll get to that one. Michael Irvin played in an era where they threw the ball about 25 times, you know, and especially the Cowboys. There's times where I think Aikman threw the ball 20 times. Go look at Michael Irvin's numbers. His yards per catch is higher than T.O. If you take their average years based on their career, they're deadlocked similar. And that's in a Michael Irvin in a non-passing era and T.O. in a passing era. It isn't even close. And I'm telling you, if you've never seen Michael Irvin play, you've never seen the competitor and just the way he built up his team. He never brought him down. He always built them up. That's the huge difference. But let's zip through some of this stuff.
Now, I want to address this thing I've been having. And I split his wig when Cam and Mace asked me about it. And by saying yes, I'm at the bottom because those rings are heavy. and since he doesn't have any, he wouldn't know anything about that. And then I was going to let that lay. You know, in my actions through my speaking, because I've done what I did. I don't need to talk about it anymore. But I was watching a show the other day, or I saw a clip of it or something, and I saw what Cam Newton said to my man Stephen A.
Yeah, I'll skip through this, but Cam Newton was talking about that they asked him, would you trade your MVP for a Super Bowl title? And he said no. And I think that's what really gets Michael and gets any competitor in our generation, man. It's all about winning championships. Would you, I said it before, would you rather have, you know, Edelman's career, or would you rather have Calvin Johnson's career? And ask Calvin Johnson and, you know, ask any other player, what would you rather have? Not the huge numbers, but the rings and the championships. And being an important part of those rings and championships. Not being the 53rd man on the roster. I think most players that I would think of, I know me for damn well, would rather have championships. I mean, individual awards and accolades and all these things really don't mean anything if you don't have the hardware to show for it, if you haven't elevated your team. And it's not a disrespect or a knock to say, hey, those guys aren't as good, or, you know, this guy was better. But when you're playing a game of football, that is the ultimate team sport. It's why you see, you know, the quarterback gets all the blame, most of the credit, but that's not really fair because it takes a team. It takes 11 men on one side of the ball, 11 men on the other side of the ball. Obviously, special teams, same thing, to be able to reach that Super Bowl. But if you are a key part of it, if you are one of the leaders, and if you are one of the best, I mean, it makes it so sweet. So that's kind of what got Michael Irvin started. So I'm gonna try and zip through to find what I wanted.
We are in a time right now for the team's success. See, that's a malfunction in your thinking process to me. And for us to let them say it without big fight back, pushback, I think is a glitch and a malfunction in our process and how things have changed. It used to be all about winning championships. Now I get guys like T.O. and they're talking about catching passes. They're talking about individual things. individual. Said, Cam, I passed Michael's number of touchdowns years ago. Yeah, nigga. So what? You played damn near twice as long as I played. I played about 9 years, and I got 3 rings in 9 years. You played about 16, 17, 18 years. If I'd have played as long as you, I would have had 6 damn rings going my timeline. I'm just telling you. I don't get in this beef stuff. I don't do this.
No, he doesn't. He's never done that.
Because I don't believe in tearing down people, and especially I don't believe in tearing down life. All my passes, all my receptions were down the field. As a matter of fact, I went and looked at it. If you go and look at how many yards you average a game over your career, how many yards I average a game over my career, I have more. If you look at how many yards per catch over my career and over your career, I have more. I'm just telling you guys, man. I'm telling you as a whole, let's get back to winning championships and stop all this individual mess.
And that's, again, what he's talking about is Michael Irvin. If you guys don't remember him, he lived across the middle. Where a lot of players, they don't want to mess with that now. Now the game's changed, right? A lot of the hitting, a lot of the head hunting, that's gone, for the most part of this league, but not in his era. I mean, those guys, when you came across the middle, you got punished. And the thing that Michael Irvin said, again, I don't know if I probably missed it, but he never led the NFL in drops. I mean, that dude didn't drop passes, hardly ever. T.O. led in drops. Michael Irvin never caught passes behind the line of scrimmage, quick, easy passes and run for a few yards. Everything he did was down the field. So that's the kind of, that's what he's talking about. The eras are different. That's why I even don't like getting involved in it, because you hate comparing. I always get, well, is this guy better than this one? And you always get the Jordan and LeBron, or you get, Joe Montana and Tom Brady and Terry Bradshaw, Troy Aikman, all these guys in different eras. It's you can't compare it. You can't compare the eras because the game was so different. It's so statistically, you can't really compare. Hardware is really the only neutralizer that you can have. And Michael Irvin's got some hardware. He's got hardware everywhere. And to win championships on all different levels, that's not, there aren't many people that do that. I mean, that tells you the type of teammate he is. And again, being an integral part of it, not being an accessory, but being the main course, not an appetizer, as my man Eugene said. I'm going to finish up with one of my last ones, and this is the mic drop. This was the mic drop, and let me scoot up to it and see if that'll.
I'm just letting you know, over and over and over again. I told you, I don't get into beefs. And all of you talking about who's the greatest receiver out here, I say I give it to Jesus and clicks. I call it Jerry Rice, but then as soon as you finish with the E in Rice, you better start with the M in Michael. I am the man. He got 3 rings too, and I think he played 17 years. I only played a total of about 9, and I took mine. Where yours? And by the way, on the way out the door, let me leave this. If I put my rapping moves on, I'll say this way. On the way out the door, let me leave this on the floor. Nigga, ain't never lead the league in drops. Not these. You see these? You led the league in drops, bro. Bro, go look at it. I remember talking to you. I tried to help you going across the middle. All of those zero routes, they call zero routes. Routes where you just run across and route. You dropped them all. You know why? Because of the pain that was nearby. You see, you dropped a lot of those zero routes because of the pain that was nearby. I was known for catching in the pain. You did? In the pain. That's why I'm known for taking home the reins. I catch in the pain and I took home the rings. Stop it. That's for someone else. Not me. I got way too much hardware for this. Speaking of hardware, I was at, I'm going to play with you on this. I'm going to leave this with y'all. I was at the TriStar show in Houston, autograph show. People were everywhere. And I was noticing some guys had multiple helmets. I do too. But I only got one in college. That was the youth. And one in the pros. That was the Cowboys. Not like all you other brothers. I didn't play for San Francisco, Philadelphia, Dallas, and whoever else. You know why? They don't let brothers like me get away. Because they know when they have me on their team, pretty good chance they're going to get a ring. You know?
And that's true. You know, I'll leave it at that with him. But that's what he's talking. And I mean, that's something to be said, right? He's played only with the Cowboys, only at the University of Miami. He didn't change colleges or anything like that. And he won championships. So you take his college years. I mean, you take his pro years. That's a lot of rings. It's a lot of hardware that man's got. He's got a gold jacket. I don't understand why you'd want to try and bring someone down to make yourself better. But that's T.O. He does it for the headlines. And that's why I say he's never been a good teammate. And I will challenge anyone on that. And there's a reason why, you know, he wasn't a lock first ballot, you know, kind of Hall of Famer player. I didn't think he was. And like I said, if he didn't get in, it wouldn't surprise me because I just don't think he elevated. He didn't make his team better. But, you know, Michael Irvin said it best. Like I said, man, you guys, you don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with the GOAT. And I agree with him. Jerry Rice is arguably the greatest receiver of all time. But I've always said it. You give me Michael Irvin in these games. Go watch Michael Irvin. I mean, again, Jerry Rice is the GOAT, but Michael Irvin ain't far behind if Jerry Rice is the GOAT. Michael Irvin just demanded the ball, caught everything, was not afraid to go across the middle, was an ultimate teammate. Talk to any one of his teammates, and you ask who the best guy in the team was and the best teammate, and it was Michael Irvin. You know, take all the other stuff aside, because I know the haters will come back with some of the trouble he got into off the field in the offseason, post-career. That never changed when he got on that football field during the season. And that's really what it's about with Michael Irvin. And again, I may be biased because I love Michael Irvin. I love my Dallas Cowboys, but I'm just telling you, man, those are the facts. Those are the facts. I wouldn't be messing with Michael Irvin. He's one of the greatest receivers of all time, and the disrespect that Terrell Owens showed him, you know, kind of set me off. And I'm glad I stumbled across that and saw Michael Irvin, you know, respond the way he did, because it was well deserved. And he's the man. And you know, it's all about the you, and love his Cowboys. So I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good one. Hopefully enjoy the video. I definitely go check it out. If you didn't see the whole thing, it's worth watching the whole thing if you didn't see it with Michael Irvin. And also, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We got live shows coming up on Wednesday night. So hope to see you all back in the cave. Until next time, you guys enjoy. See you.